All right. So we have Damage Inc. We have um, the Gas House Gorillas. And Harris, what's your team name again?
Lucille
Luc
Betts,
Lucille Bass.
The Walking
Right.
Dead. Somebody just walked behind you, by the way.
Yeah, probably
Oh,
my cat or Regan
Definitely
or
was not a cat.
the huge
yeah.
cat, dude.
It's a big
um,
cat.
so last year we did a whole draft recap and had some fun with it. So we figured we tried to do the same thing, but we'll add in this year to start at least on this Easter weekend a chance for forgiveness for any player that we may have kind of bashed or made fun of and owe apologies for. So I'll start it off since I'm already chatting. And I know last year, I think we all agreed upon this player, but I may have gone the hardest at it. But I definitely owe an apology to Gerace and his CJ Abrams pick.
Yeah.
Another good
I,
one. Yeah.
yeah, I think it was like a fourth round pick, and and I understood the hype between like the prospect aspect, but I did not understand it there. And by July or August, he was obviously proved me wrong, and he worked out to be pretty good. And I think he kept him. Yeah, he had to,
Yeah,
as he should have.
yeah, he
Yeah.
kept him. Yeah.
So I ask for forgiveness for my for my CJ Abrams bashing. So good picture, Ace, and he seems like he's a perfect fit for the team.
Third round last year.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Matt, you said you had someone lined up.
Yeah, indeed. So I owe Jersey Jobbers a huge apology for bashing Gabriel Marino last year because he was drafted fifth round last year. And I was just like, I mean, I know the guy was traded for Dalton Varsho, but he's super young. I was like, fifth round catcher doesn't make any sense, right? But he did incredible. And who drafted Gabe Marino in the fifth round this year? Damage Inc. did, and it makes total sense now. I mean, come on,
Pretty good value, honestly.
As long as you
it was a
learn
great
from
pick
your
last
mistakes.
year, and yeah, he just came through. So
Well,
yeah, I'm on the bandwagon.
7 Hail Marys for you. You're forgiven, my son.
Yep.
Harris, anything you can recall, or we good?
I mean, I think I probably made fun of myself for drafting Oscar Colas in the eighth round.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dude's
No
a
forgiveness
scrub.
for that.
Dude's a scrub.
Yeah.
I don't forgive myself.
You gotta be rebaptized. All
I
right.
was
Well,
I was hoping he was going to be good, and he's just
yeah.
not.
No, I drafted him in another league, and I thought he had potential, but sometimes
Yeah.
you swing and miss. It's the nature of the game. So we have a couple things on board. We had chatted about trying to make it as quick as possible, going through each round, see if there's anything that sticks out as far as something you love or something you dislike. So why don't we start with round one? Again, I'm already talking. I'm going to go first, and I would say that there's two things that stick out to me really quick. One, I absolutely love the Suzuki pick by Drace. I had him last year, and I really wanted him. I hope he fell. I hoped he would fall. He did not, obviously. And I think he's going to have a monster year. I don't think I got him anywhere. I'm kind of bummed about that. And the one player I was kind of surprised where he went, and I understand it. It's just not the way I would go about it. But I also didn't win last year. My cat just climbed up on the back, as you can probably hear. But the Hae-Sung Kim pick as fifth overall. I'm not totally in love with him. I get that he had a great year. It kind of shocked me where he went, but maybe not everyone else. But those two picks kind of stick out. What do you guys have?
Harris, go for it.
I actually love the Riley Green pick. I think it's probably not everyone's favorite pick. I know Nolan Jones is like a bigly, highly touted prospect, and I agree with Jeff. I love Suzuki and I love Yelich and I like Brian Reynolds, but in a league like this where you get to keep 10 guys, taking Riley Green, I think kind of shows balls, I guess you could say. And if that turns out to be a good pick, I mean, he could be the real deal.
I'm a big Green fan, so yeah.
We just don't know what he's going to do, but I think that's a ballsy pick right there, and I like it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think I love Green's contact. I love that team build. And I think he's got okay speed. Obviously, injury concerns or something. But I think the other thing too is like he's going to be a doubles hitter more than a home run hitter just because that park similar to like Castellanos when he was there. Like a good hitter, but that park's going to suppress power a little bit. But I am a huge Riley Green fan. I kept him in another league. I think I drafted him in another. So yeah, I'm all in on that. Anyone you dislike?
Suzuki and Yelich probably would have been a safer pick, right? I mean.
Yeah.
Taking that pick in a league like this, I like it. I think it's pretty
Yelich
smart
for
move.
sure, or Nolan Jones, but no, I think Riley Green was definitely a ballsy pick for being the third overall, but I think we all kind of have confidence in him.
Yeah.
I think all the Gerace's picks in the first round were great.
Yeah.
I mean, he only had 12.
Yeah. But I agree. Suzuki, we talked about kind of like talking about some guys that we were off on last year and now we're in on, or vice versa. But Suzuki was definitely one of those guys I wanted shares of in like all the leagues. I don't think I got him in any of them, but that was a great pick. And Yelich too, man. The guy, he really performed well last year, and he's starting this year. I think he just hit a home run tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I was out on Yelich for a couple of years, but I think like as long as he can stay healthy, the dude's just a great hitter. You know?
He looked so good today, lefty versus lefty too, and he was just his swing was perfect.
Yeah,
that team
so
can be sneaky.
Getting him there is pretty good. Matt, since you're up there, second round, anything? How about we go in reverse here?
Sure.
Anything stick out in the second round?
Second round, I would go. I think Joe Musgrove's a great pick there.
I agree.
Let's see. Bibby's another good pick. Could be a stud in the making. And Josh Naylor, too. That's taking some risk right there in the second round. Could pan out. Joe Ryan, is where I think he should have gone, but I like that pick as well.
Yeah. Anything you dislike there?
Well, Zach Geloff, I think, went a little early. You know that.
I knew he was going to be your guy.
Yeah. But I love all the closers, too, that went that round. It seemed like they're all strong, guys that should have gone.
Yeah.
Ruiz could have been the worst pick in the draft or in the second round.
Well, I'll jump in then because you teed me up. That'd be my pick for the worst pick. And look, everyone has players they like, they dislike. I get it. You like him. I'm not huge on him. And I don't disagree with you. Like, he can be a category winner in stolen bases. I know that there's been better hype about him with like his bat and that team sucks, so they kind of got to play him. Although he didn't start opening day. Right now, here's the trouble we have. We already saw a day of baseball, a day and a half baseball, so we can't let recency bias, control everything. So, Brian Reynolds isn't going to hit, 162 home runs, and Estero Ruiz isn't going to sit 162 games. But it was surprising not to have him out there opening day. Why? So I don't know if that's
I know why.
Why?
He can't fucking hit the ball.
Yeah, but if he can field and steal bases, I don't know. I mean, to me, I understand the pick. It's just something I like. He's one of those guys. The easiest way for me to say it is that, like, when a guy we all have this in every draft. When certain guys go, you're like, oh, sweet, thank you, because that didn't take a guy off the board for me. So, but I mean, if he hits, then now he's going to get you 70 stolen bases, and that's huge. So I get it.
Yeah.
But
I definitely took him for the category. If he steals half the bags he did last year, he's still one of the top leaders in stolen bases, probably close to 30 or 40 stolen bases. Yeah. That's going to help your production big time.
Yeah, I agree.
But it kind of hurts that he's not getting the nod. It's sort of weird, but it's not. Like Edouard Julien for the Minnesota didn't start opening day either.
Right.
That's kind of odd to me. I know that there's situational hitting that involves with that, but it was definitely a kick in the balls that he was not starting and not getting the confidence. But again, an injury goes down, he could be playing all freaking year.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I don't even think it's going to take that, but anything that sticks out to you, Harris, good or bad?
I mean, I would say the opposite of Matt. I think the Geloff pick was probably my favorite pick of the round. Probably Geloff and the Bybee pick were both, I mean, I guess kind of ballsy-ish again. Yeah. But like in a league where you keep 10 players, I mean, why not take a shot on someone like Zach Geloff or Tanner Bybee over?
I agree.
Joe Ryan. We kind of know. I mean, I like Joe Ryan. I had him last year in my other league, I think. And the guy was good, but why not take the upside of someone like Tanner Bybee?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the prospect, so I love seeing him go early, or even just the young guys.
Yeah. I mean, and part of it, was position for me, and part of it was taking a shot at upside. Especially my first round, I went safe with someone like Brian Reynolds. So second round, I knew I had a couple third round picks in there, but and it's funny because Bybee, he's like one of those guys. I think Matt, you and I are a lot like this, right? Like, we see pitchers and players in general, but I think pitchers more so. It's like, I almost need to see them more than other people to fully trust them,
Yeah, 100%.
and sometimes I miss out on them. Like, and so I know you were like that this year with Cole Reagans. Where you don't fully trust that guy, and BB still falls in that category for me. Like I understand I understand the reasoning behind it. He's a guy like for me, I personally wouldn't take him there, but that's probably just because I'm behind on him. But I think all the picks here were solid. Definitely, I think like if I had to simplify it, the Ruiz, Geloff, and Bybee picks were probably the like highest risk, highest rewards. Well, not highest rewards, but highest risks in it for sure.
Yeah.
Third round, pretty straightforward. I wouldn't say
string of closers just went
string of closers. Yeah.
Looks
Honestly,
looks like Guest House Gorillas is trying to collect IL players.
Maybe.
Well,
that's what he
not
does.
intentionally.
It's only a matter of time before Vinny goes down.
Oh my god!
Yeah, not there. I wasn't intentionally trying to do it there. Yeah, honestly, there's really nothing that sticks out to me this round. Like it's all pretty solid. Like everyone went where they should have went. It's pretty decent.
Even Merrill Kelly is
my favorite,
solid pick.
Who was Pasquantino?
Yeah, that's probably my favorite pick there.
Yeah, it's funny though. We talked about he's not on my list, but we're going to eventually talk about players we're in on and out on. And I was all in on Alexis Diaz last year. I had him in a couple spots, not in this league, but in a couple others. And he's a guy I was hesitant on this year. Like he went where he should have, but I'm a little nervous about him. And I don't know. I think it's a combination of like ballpark. I think it's a combination of like I don't like the way he ended the year. I don't know if he just got tired or worn down. But it's something about him like spooked me just a little bit, and I don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I never had him in any league before. I just know he's a big strikeout guy. He's like one of the best on the board kind of guys,
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised you took Romano over Phillips though.
I love Phillips, and my honestly, Phillips. I think there I had I had to start a third. My thinking was knowing that I had two picks in the ladder, I would hope Phillips was going to fall to me. So I prefer Romano over him only because I felt like it was safer. Like I feel like the Dodgers. I like Phillips a lot, but I feel like the Dodgers are a team that's probably going to trade for players at the deadline. And if they get a closer and Phillips has only had one solid year, I'm a big fan, but I felt like Romano has had a safer timeshare. So,
yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right. Third round.
More injured players for the Gorillas.
Again, not intentionally. That just happened today, motherfucker.
Just happened today.
Yeah, that sucks, dude.
Yeah. I would say the thing that sticks out to me here is I when it happened, I thought it was a really good pick. I like the Encarnacion Strand pick, and I think that obviously we didn't know what was going to happen with the Reds just falling to pieces. But I mean, you went from a guy who might play with high upside to a guy who now it looks like he's going to play every day. I think that works out to be a really good pick. But
and that was my first pick of the draft because I lost my first three.
Right.
Picks.
Yeah.
I was happy as hell with that.
Yeah.
I think Yanier Diaz stands out for me. I knew he was going to go. Yeah, I knew he was going to go. I knew he was going to go quick in the draft too. I just didn't know where. But he's like an exciting guy that I'm keeping an eye on this year.
How much is he going to play though?
I would think a lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
See, I think that was the issue last year because they had Maldonado, but they got rid of Maldonado, so now he's a starter. So, I mean, but that was a little hesitation for me because I had him last year in this league, and he played every third day. But they had Michael Brantley who retired. They had Maldonado who left.
He looks good.
He's a power guy. I mean, he should swat 30 home runs easily.
Yeah, he looks really good.
I heard Sal Perez's name kind of mentioned along with him.
I can see that. Yeah. I could see like a Gary Sanchez, but with a better batting average.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I like the Spencer Steer pick there.
Yeah. He's a guy I don't know. I don't know enough about yet.
I was kind of like you said earlier. I was kind of glad like when somebody takes somebody, you're like, oh, glad I didn't have to choose him.
He looked good today. He had 2 hits today, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so last year, almost a full season, right? Yeah, full 156 games, 582 at bats, 23 homers, 86 ribby, 74 runs. He had a 356 WP. He had a good season. I mean, he's just a guy I'm definitely just like late on. But same thing. I was unsure, like how was Cincinnati going to fit these guys in?
Right.
And at the time, McLean wasn't hurt. Marte news just broke. I forget the outfielder, the center fielder that went down wasn't down yet. So
Oh yeah, Friedel or
yep. But I think most of the picks are pretty solid here. Nothing that like is like amazing, but nothing that like sticks out as really poor.
Yeah.
All right, so fifth round.
Gabby Marino.
There he is. Now I like the Ian Happ the pick there. I think that's solid.
Me too.
James Woods, another great pick. He was going to go soon, just didn't know that soon.
I like all these guys.
Yeah, Cal Riley's a fucking home run hitter. Castellanos, I'm not big on, but I mean, we'll talk more about Brackwater Browns. I think he had a really solid draft. Gabby Marino, I love it. Pie Tasters with Bassett, another great pick. There's a lot of great players in this round. Durant.
Yeah,
I would have killed to have any of these guys.
Yeah, the King pick could be huge, right? Because he kind of stuck around a little bit longer. I feel like in every draft, I think people have the same worries that like how many innings is he going to put up if he's going to stay healthy. But if he produces, then he would honestly be up in like that third round. He'd be picked above guys like Gavin Williams, who I like. But
I agree.
He would be picked above. And Bednar would have been picked in that second round had he not had the lat issue. But if it's only going to put him out for a couple of weeks, I mean, I don't even think he's on the IL.
No, right? I think he's going to play. I think he's fine.
Yeah, it's risky, but like you get a closer like that in the fifth round, it could be really beastly.
That dude's a beast too.
Yeah,
he's a big boy.
Yep. I think you guys hit it all on the head there. All right, so sixth round. Anything stick out to you guys right off the bat? There's a couple guys that I think stick out right away. I think the Drace's pick of Imanaga is a great pick.
I love that pick.
He actually, I know that I picked next. I know that I had the next pick because that was my pick. He was the guy on my list. I couldn't believe you're still there. Two guys I would say really quick. I love that pick there, and I love the Brian Hayes pick. He's another guy like I wanted everywhere and got nowhere. But I think this is the final of the year that he breaks out. So I was kind of bummed he went that early there, but I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, I was hesitant on Hayes too. He was on my radar, but again, I wasn't going to reach for him too far. Yeah. But it makes sense for him to go there. I love the Max Muncy trade. I'm the deal. I was looking for a hit to get him. I think the round earlier, but I thought he might fall. But I think Max Muncy's going to put up. I mean, high 20s, high 30, maybe low 30s home runs for your third baseman. That's a great pick in the sixth round.
I hope you're right because I wanted Berger and Hayes above him.
Yeah, good OBP, right? So
Muncy.
Yeah. 340, 330. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you like it higher.
I do.
But
that
take
that home
3-year average. 344.
He always worries me. Yeah, he always worries me.
There's always going to be people on base on that team. It's
for sure. If he's healthy, he's going to be a beast.
Yeah.
Well, all right, so that's what worries you. His health worries you.
I guess.
Well,
last couple times I had him, but for whatever reason, he disappointed me.
Yeah, he hasn't really hit 500 at bats in the season, which is red flag.
Yeah,
right. He doesn't.
But look at the production when he does play. It's
right. Exactly.
That's my concern. I want him to play.
Anything that sticks out for you guys, good or bad? Matt, I know you said your guys, but Harris, anything that sticks out to you?
I mean, I love, like you said, the Imanaga pick. I love Imanaga.
Yeah.
Yep. I like that too.
Luis Arraez, I wasn't crazy about. Like isn't he kind of like a one aspect kind of category player?
Pretty much.
It's true. And we don't even count average in this one, so it doesn't.
So he's even less valuable, right?
Right.
But he was like leading the league in batting average last year.
Yeah, he led the league. Yeah. He's
solid.
pretty much one guy, but at least that you could put him in there. And he's just that. But I'm with you. But that's definitely a guy like I wasn't that. But he had 200 hits. I mean, that's kind of huge.
Just say he hit 354 last year, and nobody wants to draft him till whatever round we're in. That's crazy.
393 on base is elite.
Yeah,
that's insane.
I wanted him on my team. You guys know I love on base percentage. It's just the rest of that team is just kind of, if I thought he had a shot at getting up to like 90 runs this season with that on base percentage, I probably would have looked at him higher, but
Yeah, no, I get you. I got you. Yeah, I'm also out on Kimbrel there. I mean, it's just a me thing. Like I think Kimbrel's. I've been saying it for a few years. I did not want the Phillies to get him last year. The fact that he did so great in Philly last year was amazing until it actually counted, and that sucked.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like Baltimore has. I don't know if they have too many options per se, but like I feel like they're not going to give him a huge long lead if he sucks, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, he went market value. He's just a guy like I'd rather have Alvarado a couple picks later, even though he sucked today. But we can't go by just that. But
yeah, I think the opportunities that he's going to have is going to be
I agree.
abundant.
Yeah,
And,
he'll probably put up 30 saves.
Yeah.
I like Kimbrel. I think he's gonna do okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
I get it. All right, what will be sixth round, seventh round? Wow,
round
that's quick.
7. Yeah.
Anything sticks out to you guys?
Oh, I mean,
Bryce,
this is the pick of the draft right here.
Who's that?
By me,
Shane Bieber in round 7.
Bieber.
Did you see him today?
Thank you.
Did you see this dude? Oh my God, he looked like 3 years ago. He was lights out.
We'll talk about him a little bit later when we talk about value in the draft. But I love my Bieber pick there.
That might be the pick of the draft right there.
Yeah. But I also like Bryce Miller too. I think that's a solid pick there. I was hoping he would fall to me too. I'm glad. If I had the choice between those two, I probably would have gone Bryce Miller. But let's see. I think Eloy could bounce back, have a really solid year. I mean, that's pretty nice production there.
Yeah. I really like most of these picks. I really like. I think all the pitchers I'd be happy with if you put them in a hat and said you get one of these in round 7. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll take one of those. I would say the two that I'd be least interested in would probably be Darvish and Rodon, but that's just that's just age and injury risks for me. But they're still good. Those two could be the best two out of this out of the pick players. Yeah, but I think all the pitchers are really solid in here. And Harris, I'm sorry, I'm going to break your heart, but the Alec Bohm pick was kind of a surprise by me. Yeah, and like to me, that's the pick I would pick. Like I don't really love it here. And look, I love Alec Bohm. I love like real life baseball. I love the fact that he got better on defense. He's decent OBP. He's got a decent bat. But like, I just don't know what his upside is there.
I just wanted a piece of that Phillies lineup, to be honest. As a fan and as someone that I think the kid's young, he's young enough where he could improve from what he's done in the past.
Yeah,
that's honest.
He's in his prime, right? And he had a decent year, and he hit 327 OBP, 20 home runs, 97 ribbies, 74 runs, 153 hits, 31 doubles.
He could definitely improve on those numbers for sure.
He has to improve this year. I think I said it before. This is his like make or break year. Yeah. But I mean, 20 home runs for a power hitting position. I think the 97 ribbies is just a product of that lineup. I mean, he really needs to, I think, improve his on base percentage and his power this year. I just don't know if he's going to do it.
I agree.
I mean, this is what I do like about Bohm, right? Like he's got a solid bat, right? He doesn't really miss. He's got good contact. This is the problem that sucks with him. He's like 23% in barrel. He's low in exit velocity. He doesn't really hit the ball that hard. So like he's basically a good average, like a singles hitter, doubles.
He makes contact, and
makes contact.
If you make contact, those numbers in the middle are easier to improve. I think.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I mean, that if I had to pick a pick, that I was kind of surprised by, and like, oh, glad someone took him. That was the pick.
Yeah.
But
same here.
Anything, Harris, that sticks out to you, good or bad?
Bieber. Right. I mean, well, okay. So before I watched Bieber yesterday or today, whatever day it was, I like Bailey over.
Yeah, I like Ober too. Yeah.
Yeah, that Minnesota staff is good, man. I like it.
But they're another one. They're another, them, the Mariners and Giants. Yeah, sneaky. The Rizzo pick. Rizzo is definitely a guy on my radar.
I like Rizzo, yeah.
I would hope keep falling. But
yeah.
I mean, look, if you asked me, you got to bet $5,000 on who's going to have a better year, Anthony Rizzo or Pasquantino, I don't know. And like now you're going 4 rounds later. Rizzo pick's a good pick. Yeah.
It could definitely be Rizzo.
Yeah, 100%. All right, round 8. Anything that sticks out to you guys?
Ooh.
Another Gas House Gorilla IL.
Yeah. Well, that's why he fell so far. That's why he fell so far. If he doesn't fall that far, he's a first round pick
He's definitely a higher pick. Yeah,
or a keeper. Yeah,
maybe. But yeah, no, I like the Senga pick. It's safe there. Yeah, there's a couple. I think Ozuna's a great spot there for Gerace.
I agree.
Not to pat myself on the back, but I'm a big fan of Jung Ho Lee.
I
think
love
he's
that
gonna have a
pick
great
there.
year.
Yeah, I really wanted him.
Yeah,
I'm on the fence about that guy. We'll see.
yeah. Watch his on base percentage, dude. I think he's gonna flourish in that ballpark too. Like the Ohapi pick, and I'm a big fan of Brandon Nimmo, so I think that's a pretty good pick there. Nimmo had a really sneaky good year last year too.
Look at his last 3 years, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, his on base percentage is elite, but he hit for power last year, which was great.
Yeah. 24 homers, 363. Yeah,
I was thrilled to have him there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's always solid. Especially OBP wise.
89 runs. I mean, the guy's just that's a good spot.
No, I like Nimmo. The only thing I don't like about Nimmo is that like he's gonna limit you on like some of he doesn't steal and he doesn't really get RBIs, so but that I mean it's fine. You're going runs, and OBP basically.
Right. I mean, he's a leadoff guy. So 24 home runs from your leadoff guy.
Yeah, can't complain. I agree.
I don't know if he's going to get 24 home runs again, but we'll see.
I think he should be hovering around 20.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, look, I just said I like Jung Ho Lee, and I think that they're going to be similar type players. I think they're going to be OBP, leadoff, run based. And I think I would assume Lee's probably going to be like, I don't know, 15, 18 home runs maybe.
Where did Lee bat in his last game? Was it leadoff?
I think he's leading off.
Yeah.
I think that's what triggered me to take Lee is because of the Nimmo pick.
Right. Yeah. I like the Estrada pick. I didn't get him anywhere, but if you're talking about like a guy that could basically be 2020,
I wanted him.
As a middle infielder, and I think he even did a little bit better than that, stolen base wise. He hasn't played a full season the past 2 years, and he's getting 20 stolen bases a year. So if he plays a full season, not that you can project that, but let's say he's going to get 25 and 15 home runs. That's pretty decent. Yeah, not bad. I like that pick. I think there's upside to it. Everyone else I think is pretty good. I'm kind of out on Tanner Scott.
Really, I love that guy.
Yeah,
I wouldn't take a shot with him. I'm not a fan.
I think he's good.
Yeah,
I think he's got like elite stuff. I just don't like. I mean, like he had great whip last year.
Look at his whip last year.
It was great. Yeah,
maybe the last two previous seasons though.
Right, that's his issue. Is he walks too many guys. He didn't last year. So either last year is something he fixed, or it's the outlier. But
we'll see.
Yeah.
He went at a good round. He's just someone he was someone I hoped that would go.
Yeah, I get that.
Round 9. Anything that sticks out to you guys, good or bad?
I think
stock.
I think 2 guys stand out to me anyway, and they're both on the same. And they're both on the same team, obviously.
Go ahead. Who is it?
Julian and Buxton. I like them both. I like the Twins.
Yeah.
I
like the Julian pick. I'm a fan. Buxton. Buxton's a good pick there, but again, I think we all have the same concern with him.
Right.
But it's not a bad pick in the 9th round for sure. I like the Keibert Ruiz guy. I mean, I was always kind of keeping an eye on him, catcher wise too. He put up really good numbers. Came up with I think the Dodgers drafted by them.
Yeah, I've been watching him for years. It feels like
he's part of the Trey Turner trade.
Yeah.
Well, right.
Yeah.
It's good picks there. Rice Hoskins can really.
Hoskins. Go look at Kwan's numbers. What are Kwan's numbers?
He's similar to like Arise. He's OBP, no power.
340 OBP.
Yeah.
21 stolen bases though.
Difference is he steals a little bit, scores some runs.
Is he their leadoff or no?
I think so, yeah.
He has been. I don't know if he did this year so far. But Yeah.
Pretty
I
sure
mean,
he-
back to back 89, 93 run seasons.
Yeah.
That's
not-
pretty solid.
That's not bad. Yeah.
He's a professional hitter, you know, like the
Yeah.
dude can get on base, you know.
Not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Hoskins' pick there. I like the Julian pick. You know, a couple guys. I like the McCormick pick. I mean, McCormick, I had him last year in this league. He was solid. And
Yeah.
he's going to get everyday playing time this year. I think he's, you know, a 25 home run guy in a potent lineup, you know, with
Yeah.
decent OBP. I forget what his OBP was last year, but you know, I think it was pretty solid. Yeah, 353. You know,
Not bad.
he had only had 400 at bats, 22 homers, 70 ribbies. Like, you know, pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, round 10. I mean, I love the Henry Davis pick. I wanted him somewhere, especially for like situations just occur with me where my catcher gets hurt and I could possibly put him at catcher at some point. He was one of the guys I wanted everywhere. I love the Story pick. I love the Gorman pick. Like, I think all those guys.
This whole round, except one guy, I don't like.
Yeah. Who don't you like?
Estevez.
Yeah, Estevez. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think
that.
Hunter Brown is a really solid pick there.
Yeah, I agree. He's sunk so far this year.
Yeah, I mean the guy started last year as a rookie, put up decent numbers. You know, he wasn't elite, but I mean the guy could take a huge step forward this year on a great team. I mean, I like that pick a lot.
Yeah. What about that Barrios pick, boys? Look at that, 10th round.
I like Barrios. Yeah, but
Barrios finally had a decent year last year. But
do you like Barrios over Evaldi?
Oh yeah, I do.
I would rather have Evaldi. Yeah,
I do understand that. I just like Evaldi's a guy. I don't know, man. Like he's good. He's on a good team. You know, he's had a couple good years healthy, but I mean, he's like, I don't know. He's 140 innings. He's had 1 year like above 140 innings. You know, and even that, like 12-5, 3.62 ERA, 114 WHIP. Like that's finally.
Barrios?
And yeah, and Matt's right. Barrios like finally put it together last year because he was disappointing, you know, for a while. But I mean, look, he doesn't miss time. The dude just
he is an inning
pitches
for sure.
You know, and yeah, decent. You know, ERA, WHIP are fine. You know, he's not great, but like, you know, he's inning per strikeout guy basically. But yeah, I mean, huge because I was out on him last year. He's probably another guy I would have to apologize for. I think Stoners maybe drafted him last year. And I probably blasted that pick because he came in with a 5.23 ERA and 1.42 WHIP, and you know that's what he ended up with at least. But but anything else stick out to you guys?
I like
Trevor Story.
Yeah, Story for sure.
Yeah, he's another guy that's on the list to talk about. Yeah. All right. Round 11. What say you boys?
I like all these guys too, except for Walker Buehler. Sorry, Stoners.
Why? So what don't you like about that pick though there?
Well, I guess in this league, my biggest mistake was not drafting injured players because now you guys get to pick up. You guys basically get to keep on drafting. Once the draft is over, picking up all these awesome guys that are still on waivers.
Well, if they're so awesome, why don't you just draft them?
Yeah, but I'm stuck. I already have awesome players, but because I didn't draft any injured players, I can't keep on drafting.
All right, so but we're passing up on a lot of good players.
Right.
Next year, I will draft injured players just so I can keep on.
Perfect.
I know it's crazy. It doesn't make sense, but that's just the way this league works, I guess.
Well, I think it's a risk that you're willing to take that these guys will come back. Like Bueller is scheduled to come back soon.
Right.
You know, Devin Williams is scheduled to come back.
Williams.
Right. Yeah.
But out of this round, I think Jackson Merrill is a good pick right there. That's good value.
Thank you guys. You guys are so nice to allow that guy to fall into my lap. That was nice.
He was on my list. I just didn't have time to take him yet. Yeah.
Gift.
I like Christopher Sanchez. I wish I would have got him in a couple of leagues, but I don't think I got him.
Jordan Montgomery on the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I like that pick there. Yeah. No, I mean, obviously he sunk because he wasn't on a team at that point, you know?
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, you know, there's nothing really that I'm in love with in this round. Like nothing that sticks out.
Correa. I like Correa a lot.
I'm happy with that pick. I'm super happy he fell there. You know, I don't expect him to do anything he hasn't done before. I don't expect him to be in his prime, but like, I think that he's gonna be better than he was last year. So
yeah, if the whole team's better, I mean, he could produce career numbers this year.
Yeah, as a middle infielder, I'm cool with him there. But I like the Jackson Merrill pick. I think upside wise, I like him. I really like the Matsui pick.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. That could be a steal, dude.
Kyle
underrated.
Harrison.
Yeah, I like that. All right, round 12. A couple guys I really like here, and a couple guys I kind of don't. But I think that the Polanco pick is really sneaky, right? If he stays healthy,
love that pick.
Yeah, I mean, you have a solid hitting second baseman in there.
In a good lineup.
Yeah, I think the Alman pick was great, right? Because at that point, now you're shooting for good lineup, a guy that can hit 20 home runs, a guy that can steal 20 bases. McKenzie is close to, he's like on the border of like being able to be an ace. I think obviously injuries are keeping him from not being in some things, but I mean he's a solid 2 or 3 in real baseball. So having him like that, yeah. And I like the Colt Keith. He was definitely a guy I don't think I got anywhere, but I wanted him everywhere, but it just never fell into my lap. But all those guys.
Same here. I think the Adames pick is great too. I mean,
I was going to say he's one of my back players of the year.
Yeah. 20 something homers from your middle infielder in that round, I think is great.
I agree. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. No, I think that's solid. All right, 13. Anything sticks out to you guys?
I'm a big Kerry Carpenter fan. I like that.
All
pick.
right. All right. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, pains you to
Wells,
say it,
dude. What's that?
Pains you to say
it. Who? Kerry Carpenter? Well, yeah. Not that you got him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Austin Wells pick. I wanted Austin Wells in like all these leagues, but again, he's just another guy that just never fell to me.
Yeah.
But I think that could really pan out well.
Is he right now the Yankees starter?
He didn't start yesterday. Trevino started, so I think they are still going to split some time.
Yeah.
So that was really my hesitation too on Austin Wells. But long term in this league, could pay out.
I agree, and that's where like catchers are weird, right? Because like the teams are going to put defense first, versus versus offense, and catchers in real life have such a hard time like being able to manage both because such a heavy load of knowing all the pitchers and managing them well, and defense 1st, blah blah. So yeah, rookie catchers are always weird.
Yeah, and the Yankees are weird too. They'll assign like a certain catcher to a certain pitcher.
Right.
They do that stuff.
Right, and they're also generally defense first after the Gary Sanchez.
yeah, definitely. I think Justin Turner's another great pick. Blackwater Browns.
Yeah, you like that?
I know he's older, but look at that dude's production last year. He was on a shitty Boston team last year, right?
He still
managed to hit 23 home runs, score 86 runs on a shitty team, and on base percentage was .345. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And now he's probably in a better situation in Toronto. But I think that was a solid pick right there.
I agree. I tend to have age biasy, so I get like those guys fall to me. That's why like I think JD Martinez obviously not having a team hurt him, but also his age hurt him. But I saw you picked him up. He's a guy I'm like, he's probably gonna get crippled on the way. But I will disagree. Like that's where same thing like with us missing out maybe on pitchers we haven't seen enough, that haven't done it enough. We miss out on sometimes miss out on the older guys that do perform. That I just am too biased on to draft.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah. I mean, that Robert Suarez pick, he was a guy I had on my list. I just kept falling. I mean, if he is, and so far he has been, the closer for the Padres, he would be up in that 3rd round, 4th round where all those closers went. Instead, he's here, got drafted after Matsui pick, who's currently their setup guy. And again, of course, things change pretty rapidly in the closers world, but I think that's a great pick there. I like Nate Lowe, when he's healthy. I think the Pivetta pick could be really good because as much as I'm not like a huge fan of him, he's been solid. And if you go back to talking about like pitchers like that were drafted above him, he's got last year 142 innings, 112 whip.
Yeah, strikeouts, 183 Ks and 142 innings.
He just blew off the chart with that.
Yeah, that's why I like him.
Yeah, so I mean, there's some risk in there.
Yeah, I'm crossing my fingers there.
And I'm kind of out on the Alex Lang pick, and it's not because like it's just only because I think he's too wild. I just don't want relievers that are that wild. But it's I mean like at that point in the draft, it's not a bad pick. Just someone like I'm sweet. He went off the board. I'm happy about that.
Yeah. He'll get you saves for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Anything for you, Harris?
I mean, I love Tiedemann. Obviously, I think most. I mean, if you don't love Tiedemann, you will once he comes up, because that dude's.
I hope so.
So I had him last year. I drafted him every league last year, and
that was the wrong year.
And he's a guy. The reason why I didn't get him this year is because I'm kind of out on Tiedemann, and like
bitter.
No, I'm not bitter at all. I had a chance to draft him. I think that I think that he is. I think that he can be a good pitcher. I think the hard thing analyzing pitchers sometimes is, first off, we all know it's a craft, right? How many pitchers come up and dominate right away? Like very, very, very few. And even the best ones we have often aren't like highly touted guys, right? So right now we're hoping that Grayson Rodriguez and guys like that like take the next step. But like Bobby Miller wasn't like a huge touted guy. He's getting a lot of credit. But even the aces, Strider came out of basically nowhere. Like guys like Logan Webb, guys like that. Like there's so far and few between guys like Garrett Cole that get picked in the first round and end up being an ace. And so I like Tiedemann, but I think the hard part is like when you have a guy that like he's a sexy pitcher, right? He looks good. He's lefty. He's got great movement. Pitches 97, 98. He's got a nice, off-speed pitch in there, a couple off-speed pitches. But like in the end, I just like some of the things I was looking at, like as far as like the kind of baseball savant stuff, and I know you can't live off that, especially the minor leaguer and his injury history. I just have a feeling he's more of like a nice 3. Like he probably ends up to me like more closer to Ranger Suarez than Zach Wheeler, and that's fine as a usable pitcher. I just don't know. Like, I don't think he's going to be like a top ace stud.
I think it's too early to tell any of that.
I agree. Of course. Right. Yeah.
I know nothing about him. I just believed all the hype hearing about him preseason. It was the same kind of hype Grayson Rodriguez had last year. And I'm with you, man. Like I'm not big on Grayson Rodriguez. I'm not big on Tiedemann. I'm not big on Miller on the Dodgers until I see more of like what these guys can really do.
Right. Yeah.
But like Tiedemann, I just kind of was like, a flyer there. I would think,
it's a good pick.
Team, my draft, I was like, I could take a guy like that here.
Instead of Pavetta or Savale, I mean, I would take the upside of Tiedemann all day.
Yeah. I guess another part of it too, and this is hard because things change. We don't know all the staffing and development things that are going on behind the scenes that we don't hear about. But like, what pitchers has Toronto like produced? So
what has Baltimore produced?
Oh, I know, and they scare the shit out of me, right? But at least that team has changed some things, right? Like they have even Kyle Bradish and Tyler Wells like have like they pitch decently, but like again, not that you want to do that, but that's why those guys when they leave, like Gosman and things like that, like those guys become pitchers. Gosman and Arrieta, as soon as they leave Baltimore, they become, shortly after leaving Baltimore, they become better pitchers. But there's certain organizations, like if Tiedemann was on Tampa or Tiedemann was on, even the Cardinals or,
Milwaukee,
the Dodgers, if Bobby Miller was on, on I don't know, Pittsburgh, they might not care as much. But anyway, long rant there. All right, round 14. I love the Brandon Pfaadt pick. He was a guy I really wanted. Just couldn't find the spot for him. Now I got the real best prospect pitcher in that round too.
Oh, here he comes.
You want to see a fucking pitcher pitch? Go watch some Jackson Jobe, baby.
Another Jackson. So you got Jackson Merrill. You got Jackson Jobe. You got Jackson Holiday, and Jackson Churio. What's this? Every prospect's name's Jackson? What the hell is going on?
I guess if they're going to be good, they got to have that name.
I guess 20 years ago, they were naming their kids Jackson left and right.
How many Rickies you see succeeding? Now since Ricky Henderson now.
Yeah, right. I like Jackson Jobe. I think that's a solid pick. Again, it could turn into gold. It could turn into shit. You just never know.
Yeah.
But I like that pick there. I like the Campusano pick. He was a guy I had in the back of my brain. I was like, I like the catcher on the Padres. I think that's going to play well.
Yeah. Yep.
But those two stick out. Friedel was not hurt, but I liked that pick at the time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he was sneaky good.
He was. I think he had some nice on base percentage. I'm checking it out. 352 last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had some nice numbers.
27 stolen bases. Yeah. I had high expectations for that guy.
Don't sleep on Varsho.
Varsho could definitely bounce back. He had I took him last year in one of the leagues. He had a really rough start.
Struggled,
but,
yeah.
I think, he could definitely bounce back this year.
I agree with that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. All solid there.
Yeah.
All right. 15.
15.
I love the Cutter Crawford pick, man. He was a guy, same thing. Got him nowhere. Wanted him. Jack Sawinski, real big on him. I don't know if you guys saw Zawinski's picks here, but have you seen his Baseball Savant? I mean, that dude just like 94% barrel.
Look at that barrel. Jesus.
Yeah. He's got everything sticks out, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he does strike out. That's the thing. He'll walk a lot, but he'll strike out a lot. But I like that. I mean, the only thing is he's young. He sucks against lefties, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I like the Lars Nootbaar if he can stay healthy. I think that's solid.
No way. You know? Over Stanton? No way. That's insane.
Yeah, Nootbaar just can't stay healthy. But I'm a fan of his.
Stanton's going to have 15 home runs.
Stanton in that round was pretty stellar.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm a big fan of Parker Meadows too. I like that pick.
I love Parker Meadows.
AJ Puck, dude. What do you guys think? Could be a steal right there.
Yeah, it could be. And you heard me say this before. I don't understand the mentality of teams taking guys that struggle to stay healthy in short inning spurts and then deciding to put them in long inning spurts. So I had AJ Puck last year in this league. I had him in a couple leagues, I think, but I definitely had him in this league. And I liked him as a reliever. And I would like him probably as a swingman. But I mean, as a starter, what and same thing with Jordan Hicks and guys like that. They're Mason. Like, I'm glad that the Oakland A's decided to take Mason Miller and put him in the bullpen. That's where he should be. You know,
I agree with that mentality.
Right. Michael Kopech, take him, put him in the bullpen. I agree with those things. I don't understand going the other way. And I know there's someone else I'm missing in here, but AJ Puck, I mean, could be an awesome pick. I know he was drafted as a starter, but I don't know. I guess obviously Miami got depleted by injuries, but I thought their staff was solid enough not to have to worry and use him as a starter. But could be great, but I just don't understand that mentality in a baseball standpoint. I expect him to go 75 innings is what I expect him to do.
Yeah, I want him as a reliever, not a starter.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's definitely out of necessity because I think they started the project before Yuri Perez got hurt.
Right.
So they probably knew Braxton Garrett was injured, Cabrera was injured, so maybe that's why they rushed Puck to be a starter. I don't know.
Yeah.
But regardless, anyway, I'd love the Cutter Crawford pick as well.
Yeah.
He's another dude that was just on my radar. I'd never gotten any of the leagues.
Yep. Yeah. All right, good shit. 16.
Oof.
Mason Miller, you took my boy.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, the closer on the Oakland A's, if he is that, I don't even know if he got the official nod yet, but I mean, it's a solid pick, I guess, in the 16th round. I like the J.P. Crawford pick.
Me too.
The Mariners.
I like that pick too. He went really late.
Yeah, 16th round. That's a stud middle infielder.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Payampas could also pan out pretty well. And Cano too. I love that Cano pick.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Well, and that part of it was I don't really have the faith in Kimbrel. So, and their team's good. But I think all the relievers here are good because I had targeted Presley. He went right before I could pick. So I think they're all solid there. But I agree with you guys.
Players.
Yeah,
all these
me
players
too.
are good.
Yeah, I think Taylor Ward could be sneaky if he can stay healthy. He could be a sneaky pick. But I'm with you guys on that. All right, 17.
I'm gonna
tell you. Go ahead.
I'm gonna just say right now, Tyler
Oh,
O'Neill
come on. Go ahead.
could be a good play if he stays healthy. The guy never can.
Yep.
But I like that pick there in the 17th round. Could be huge.
I 100% agree. I wanted him everywhere. I don't think I got him anywhere. Yeah, I mean, if he can stay healthy, he could be a 25-25 guy, but
Yeah.
he had a good first night.
Yeah. And when we're doing we're trying to go down and find like best value during the pick,
Yeah.
I think in the 17th round, getting that guy could pay off pretty huge.
True
Yeah,
that.
I agree. Yeah. I like the Colby Mayo pick. Obviously that could be huge.
Yeah.
Especially.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
I kind of punted on third base this year, hoping that Mayo or Junior Caminero would kind of jump in pretty early.
Yeah.
But I'm a fan of Kobe Mayo, too. I was kind of keeping an eye on him last year, and I think he's got super potential.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I like the Miguel Garcia pick.
Me too.
Yeah, he was a guy who definitely would have felt comfortable taking, too, in the third, for my third base.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everything's solid in there. I'm not that big on the Jeffers pick, but I get it, especially catcher wise. I like the Hunter Harvey pick. I like Hunter Harvey. To me, he's the closer I want in Washington.
Yeah.
All right, 18. What do we got
18.
here?
Garrett Crotchet looked pretty solid. I understand wins are a concern, but I like that. I like the DL Hall pick. I'm excited. Those are like two guys I'm excited to see more of. Hall and Crotchet.
Yeah, you would like to Crotchet.
I love the Crotchet.
What about my boy Bello?
They look good. I had him all last year. I love the guy.
Wait to see. I'm not a fan.
I feel like I'm always waiting for an implosion to come.
I can see that. Yeah, I think he's a bulldog. Yeah, it's I kind of like him for that. But yeah, I don't mind the Suarez pick there. Third base, we're talking about like third base and power.
Yeah.
Good offense. Dude's super consistent. I like the Gurriel pick. I think he fell crazy
Lord.
far. Yeah. Yeah. Anything that sticks out to you, good or bad, Harris?
Yeah, Lourdes Gurriel. I mean, I don't know if you watched yesterday's game, but the Diamondbacks scored like 18 runs in one inning.
Yep.
Yeah, they did. They looked pretty stellar.
Yeah. I always like Lourdes Gurriel. I just feel like he's a good player.
Yeah, I agree.
Good bat.
19, I would say.
This is round 19.
Yeah. This is where it gets so weird, right? Everyone's all over the place with what they get.
Yeah. And it's out of necessity half the time, probably too.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Colton Cowser pick. I mean, to me, that's the highest upside.
Yeah,
there.
love that pick.
Yeah. I like it. I like the next pick, Jordan Westberg, in the next round a little bit better than the Colton Cowser, but I get it.
Yeah.
I like the Griffin Jacks pick there.
Yeah, but I like the Griffin Jacks. Yeah.
If you're looking for, I think, was Duran injured when we were drafting?
No, we didn't know Duran was injured yet.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I mean, somebody going for holds probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget.
Yeah, because it happened. Yeah, because I took Jacks, which was the night of our draft. So the news broke about Duran after this draft was over.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but solid all the way around. Nothing I really dislike in there.
Yeah, it's kind of vanilla this round.
Yeah. Round 20.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Westberg. I like that pick in the 20th round. That's pretty solid. I like the Hector Neris pick too. But again, that's probably, it's hard to judge like pitchers and relievers this late in the draft because they're all, gonna get taken during these rounds. So, but I'm just picking out guys that I think are gonna be good long term. But I think Hector Neris all season. Jose Abreu, I think, is a great quality pick there in the 20th round.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Taj Bradley isn't, when you think about like where we are in the draft, when you think about like what the mentality is, right? So, all right, so Fetty, he could be the next Merrill Kelly. Manzardo, he basically is like one of the best like prospect first base bats. Westbrook, good team, starting job, prospect. Mountcastle had a solid year, great offense, going down the list. Bradish, if he's healthy, he goes way higher. Lawler, top 15 prospect in baseball. Abreu, you already talked about. Severino, if he bounces back, he could be, a number 2 or 3 in a staff. So yeah, I think it's
I
pretty.
like Severino. That's a good pick there.
Yeah, thank you. Matt's not so sure.
I'm glad you got him.
You're gonna be. I pretty sure I texted you earlier that you're gonna be mad when Severino is the best pitcher in New York this whole year.
Hard to argue that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. 21st round. Yeah, a couple guys now. I really like the Max Kepler pick.
Brandon Lowe.
I think that was. I mean, he was nowhere near on my radar, but
he just hit a grand slam, by the way.
Woo!
Wow,
that's
nice.
right, baby. He already made up his value. Yeah, I mean,
Seriously.
for when he fell there, he was just one of those guys where I felt like, how can I leave a guy with that power, at middle infield on sitting there? So he was kind of more of like, all right, I can't let this guy sit any longer type pick. But yeah, but I like Kepler pick. I think Kepler, if he stays healthy, he's gonna have a good year.
This whole round's really good.
Yeah, I like the Neto pick. Nino was a sneaky pick. Victor Scott could be sneaky. Rafaela could be sneaky.
Rafael, dude, watch him.
Yep, Frelick. If he can play third. Yeah, nothing I dislike.
Solid round.
Yeah.
What round was that? 21. That was the 21st round.
Wow. Yeah.
Lots of good players there.
Yeah. 22nd. Now we get into like some of the. Go ahead. What's
Obviously, Chase DeLauder wins this round.
I think there's a lot of good prospects.
Are you being sarcastic?
There.
Oh yeah, I'm bitter because I wasn't as on him as I should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, DeLauder was on my radar. I just didn't know where to take him. But I like the Walker Jenkins. A lot of the prospects that go in these later couple rounds are pretty solid.
Yeah, and you never know where they're going to go.
Yeah. But
Donovan
seems like he's close to being MLB ready.
Yeah. I really like him because I know it's one of the things like we all talk about. Craig hit upon it earlier. Is that like I like guys that make contact. He's a good on base guy. Good contact guy. And then you talk about teams that have a need. Like Cleveland could really use a freaking outfielder.
Yeah, right. Definitely.
So yeah, but
I think Gerace is going to regret taking Jenkins over DeLauder.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jenkins is a higher rated prospect, but that can shift pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll picture here. Donovan's someone that like I'm torn on. Like I like his versatility. I think he could be good. He was solid, but kind of hurt. But if he gets a playing time, could be decent. There's
a little mini run of middle infielders there at the top of the round.
Yeah. Nothing I love, nothing I hate in there. It's all fine.
Braxton Garrett could be a steal there.
I think so too.
Yeah, could be. Was he hurt at that time?
I think he's pitching already.
Is he?
Yeah, but it seemed like he was ramping up to get going. So I didn't think he was going to miss that much time.
Oh, I love this. I love this round.
I love this round too, man. The same thing with prospects and a couple of mixed guys.
Michael Bush. Michael Bush. Love Michael Bush.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. Lance Lynn's probably the only one I'm not really high on. Jeff Hoffman too.
You might regret those words.
Yeah, I don't think so, but
I'm kind of happy Lynn went. But I could see could have a bounce back, but
could 100%.
Yeah. Ooh, 36 years old. I don't know.
No, I'm with you. There's definitely like a lot of downside, but it could be decent.
Something with the Cardinals, man. I'm telling you, he might have a good year.
I think he's a fighter, man. I think he's a bulldog. So it's a fight of like father time versus health versus ability. I don't know. We'll see who wins, but
Sonny Gray went to the Cardinals, right?
Yep. Yeah, 23rd round or whatever win. I think it could be a good value. Yeah, could be a very good value.
Yeah. I like the Gavin Lux pick. Could be. I mean, he could be nothing, but at that point, like again, you're talking about a middle infielder on the Dodgers offense. It's worth a risk. I love the Jared Jones pick, man. I got on him late. I actually thought I had him in this league coming into doing research for this, and I realized I don't. I have him in another league. And one of the things, I forget what it was, but the thing I was watching was basically saying how he's like a mini Jacob deGrom. And again, deGrom was one of those guys that came out of nowhere, wasn't a high prospect, came up late. But it was more like mechanics with like the pitch mix. Not saying that he's gonna be Jacob deGrom, but it was like it's kind of how when you looked at thank you, bud. That's awesome. I got a beer delivery. It's kind of when you looked at this is same. It reminds me of exactly what happened when Charlie Morton was moving from Pittsburgh and he came to Philly, and they did a breakdown of how he reminds so many of Roy Halladay in his delivery and pitch mix and things like that. And shortly thereafter, Charlie Morton got pretty fucking good. And so I kind of look at it in the same sense. Like, is he going to be Roy Halladay? No, but Charlie Morton has been a top 20 pitcher, for a stretch there, while he was good. So, I don't know. So I like the Jared Jones pick because what are you going to risk here? You're going to take.
Yeah. That was a good pick there. I didn't even really know much about Jared Jones until he started blowing up in spring training.
Yeah, like a couple of weeks before the draft, if that.
Yeah.
I probably like Jones over Little by little.
Yeah. No, I do because
I like Little.
Right. You like Little because he's on Tampa.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's shown it for like a year. I mean, this is his first year as a starter.
Yeah.
But he's another one I'm just interested in seeing what he does.
Right. He's like Savali. Like if he's on Kansas City, you're staying away. But he's on Tampa, so now you're interested. I get it. Yeah.
Love the Jeff Hoffman pick.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. Yep. Yeah. And Tyler Wells could be sneaky.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, 24. I love the Tim Anderson pick. I think he's one of those guys that just kept falling, and I'm glad someone took him.
I like Tim Anderson too. I like the McClanahan pick too. That's a sneaky move. He's still a young dude. I don't know if you keep him, you might have better depth. I don't really think he's a keeper, but he might be if you're desperate.
He could be.
Yeah.
I mean, a year from now, you don't know that. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. But let's say he's going to take up a roster spot this year. Next year, he's going to probably build up, and if he's lucky, has a 3.5 ERA. So there's another year of like getting him up to speed.
How old is he? How old is McClanahan?
Well,
first off, like 27, 26.
First off, he'll be back at the beginning of next year.
Right, that's what I think.
Yeah, he's 26.
You think he's going to be a late going out off of Tommy John surgery right into next season? I don't see it. But again, you're going to have to deal with that next year of him being like subpar. Not saying that he can't get back to elite status, but it's just going to take a couple of 2 years. And if you have that kind of roster space, and you might, because you don't really have great keepers, you're probably going to do that. I don't know.
See, Harris, the reason why Matt knows this is because he kept Walker Buehler through his Tommy John.
Oh, I know.
So he realizes that like the roster suck.
Yeah, but now
you're not going to keep as good.
He thinks everyone's recovery. Not everyone's recovery is the same as Walker Buehler's.
That's true. And Walker got crushed. What is he? I don't know. It seems like he's been out for 3 or 4 years.
7 years. He's been out he's been out since as long as I've been alive.
Yeah. There's definitely a risk in taking a guy like that where he's going to be out for the year. So I took him with the understanding that, if I need to, I can keep him. If I need to, I can drop him at any point. But ideally, if there's a team that's way out of it and could stock up keepers, he's, I think, a very solid keeper. He's been a top 5 pitcher 2 years in a row. So if a team coming into next year wants to build up a little bit of keeper, fluff, then, our options. And even if I get a reliever out of him,
I agree. He has value for sure.
Stock,
and that's why that's why I think value-wise, I think it's a great pick in the 24th round.
Yeah. I agree.
Tim Anderson is another dude like I wanted on my team. I think he's going to be great on that team too, because he has to really like kind of prove himself. I don't think he's out of at the end of his baseball career, right?
He's only like 30.
He's only 30 years old. Yeah. So
I mean, a year ago he was starting second base for the U.S. Olympic team.
Yeah. So I like that pick there. It could really pan out. Tyler Stevenson, I'm interested to see what he does. I like that pick there. Same with Casey Mize, another guy you just don't know what you're going to get, but it could pan out. And Brett Batty too. I think he can only take a step forward.
Yeah, I like the Batty pick. I might have been a year early on him. He might even break next year, but I think that dude's got pop, man.
Yeah, and keep an eye on Ian Hamilton, dude. He's gonna.
I like it, dude. I love Ian Hamilton.
He's gonna lead the team in holds probably.
Hitter, I didn't get him.
Yeah, I don't know if he would be their closer, but if Clay Holmes shits the bed early, who knows?
Yeah, I like him too.
I like
anything
Mason.
Else?
I like Mason Wynn too. I know some people aren't big on Mason Wynn, but keep an eye
Yeah, it's
on
weird. We're
keep an eye
talking
on
from
that
Mason
dude.
Wynn. Well, like Mason Wynn is a big stolen base guy, right?
Keep an eye on that dude.
Yeah, I guess his thing is he's more glove first, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, so was Lindor when he came up. That was his thing. He's gonna be defense first. You know? So yeah, I don't know enough about Win otherwise. Round 25.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean the ground pick there is solid, you know, for what you get.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean he's coming back in June too, so I think that could be Studley.
Yeah. I don't mind the Clark Schmidt pick. You know, nothing really sticks out either way for me in this round.
Yeah,
it's not a sexy round.
I like the Acuna pick for a possible long-term deal.
Yeah. How far away is he though?
He looked awesome today.
He's 22. He's in AAA right now.
Mac the home run today.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Could be decent.
Yeah.
Salas could be up next year, I guess. You know, but it's just kind of a roster suck this year.
Yeah,
which is fine. But yeah,
this is probably the worst looking round of the whole draft. To be honest,
I'm big on Louis Varland. I took him everywhere.
I like Louis Varland.
You know, he could be nothing, but he could be. You know, to me, he could be one of those sneaky guys. You know.
Yeah.
All right, 26.
There's some nice players here, but again, it's mostly like prospects. You know, you got to kind of hope and dream. But I like the Crow Armstrong. Roman Anthony is getting really hyped up this year.
Yeah.
Sucks for Garrett Mitchell, man. I
love that dude.
Yeah, I think that whole team. I just like the Brewers. I think they're going to be sneaky good. Yeah. And he was supposed to be a good part of that, but
he's legit. He can play.
Yeah.
I mean, again, nothing sexy in this round either. Like as far as starters, and Mackenzie Gore might be
Mackenzie Gore might be good.
Yeah, there you go. That's a perfect example, right? That's the Ricky Tiedemann of you know the past, right? Mackenzie Gore was the number one pitching prospect, you know, and now he could be like a solid pitcher. You know, we're drafting him. We're drafting him in his age 25 season.
I know. Right. It seems like he's been a 10-year vet.
Right. But again, this is the thing. Young. Like pitching is a craft, you know. So he could, he could break out, and he didn't have he didn't have a good year.
No, he didn't have. He hasn't had a good year yet.
He hasn't had a healthy year, really.
Right. He had stretches last year where he was decent,
where he looked good.
Yeah, but he could be good, right? I agree. It's worth a shot because of what else? You're going to drop him and pick up someone. Pick up Michael Wacha.
Right. Exactly.
I'm with you on that round. All right, 27.
Down here, you're taking all chances down here.
Yeah, there's a couple guys though. I really like the Ginkle pick. I think that was solid. I mean, I thought Gavin Stone was a steal there.
Yeah, I love that pick.
Dodgers starter, you know, but
for now,
For now, right. Yeah. True.
I think the Ginkle pick stands out.
Yeah,
McGill pick.
Yeah. I think I drafted him last year here, but
good pick.
I mean, if he does anything close he did in spring training, he was a monster.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Maybe he turned a corner. Yeah. All right, 28. I love the Brooks Lee pick, man. Like he's a guy I really want. There's like him and DeLauder were kind of high up on my things of like I knew I wasn't going to get all the young prospects. Like I knew I wasn't going to get the Camaneros and the Churios and guys like that. Half of them were already kept. You know, so going down a level. You know, the Wyatt Langfords were already taken. Brooks Lee. And he was up there. I think again he's got like really good elite hit tool, and Minnesota has oft injured middle infielders, and not really someone at second base that is like a lock-in second baseman. Like you're not going to sit Correa, even if he's struggling, you're going to play him. But if Julian struggles, or who started at second base last night that got hurt for them, who Julian come in for?
I forget.
I forget too.
But he came in for someone who got hurt. Royce Lewis.
Oh yeah, he got hurt. Yeah.
Right. I think he's playing third. But either way, but like that's what they said, that Lee would be basically the first person up if they need someone up. And
he could play every position, I think.
Yeah. So I like that. I like the Spencer Jones pick. I like all the relievers. Well, I like the couple of the relievers picked. I think the Texas reliever there, the Lorbez, is really good. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Langoliers pick, dude. I think he could be a sneaky Jonah Heim type of player. High on home runs.
Maybe.
You know.
Yeah, he could be. I like Seth Lugo too. I'm out on Alec Manella 100% and done on him.
For sure.
Want no parts of that.
Same with Chris Paddock. I have no interest in him either.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that too. But I understood, like, he's getting some hype. He looks good, blah, 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 blah. But it wasn't worth a roster spot for me. All right, 29. Coming down on the tail end of this. I like the Burleson and Siri pick. I think both of those can be solid. And the Rogers is a sneaky pick there. Like, he's not great, but he can.
Yeah, that is very good pick. Very good pick, Trace.
For middle infield, you know, his problem, of course, is health. You know, but I think he could be all right. You know, anything sticks out for you guys, good or bad?
It's all shit to me. I don't really like any of these guys.
Fair enough. Harris.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on the Rogers pick. I think the Rogers pick was the best pick there.
Yeah.
I like the Mark Leader pick a little bit.
I do too. Yeah, for holds. All right, round 30. I like the Wallner pick. He was a guy I really wanted. I thought he was solid. I think the Garrett Whitlock pick there is really, really solid.
Yeah,
probably maybe my favorite pick by Stoner.
Good pick.
And the Michael Kopech pick.
I'm out on Wallner this year. I was more into him last year, but I just don't think he's going to pan out this year. I do like the Kopech pick. I think the Willie Castro, Willie Abreu picks are very smart. Right there.
Yeah, they could be sneaky. You know? Yep. I'm with you. All right, good shit, boys. Well, that was a draft recap, and now maybe to wake us up a little bit, how about we dig into what do you want to do, like best values real quick?
Ooh. I think I touched on a lot of my best values, but I'll just go down the list if you guys want to hear it.
Yeah. Tell me what round or who we're talking about.
I'm going to start from the back. So I just started with like your Shane McClanahan pick on the 24th. I thought was really smart.
Yep.
For all the reasons we kind of went into. The next one I had was in the 20th round, Jose Abreu.
Okay.
Again, would it kill you? Would it surprise you if he puts up like Anthony Rizzo type numbers? I don't know.
No, that's true. That's a good point.
You know? It would surprise me.
And Rizzo went round 7. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, Abreu, he's older, you know, health is definitely a concern, but he's on a great team. And
still had 90 RBIs in a bad year.
Yeah, that was a down year for him. Look at everything across the board last year was kind of shit.
How old is Abreu?
Look at that on base percentage prior to that. It's elite.
Yeah. How old is he?
Bounce back. Huh?
How old is he?
Who?
Abreu.
36 or 37.
37. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, he's from Cuba too, so maybe he's 44.
Yeah, he's 47.
But I just like the mix of the team, and I like the mix that he's just in the 20th round. You're getting that kind of player. I think it's a great value pick.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, who else you got?
I think Jordan Westberg in the 20th round is a good pick.
Yeah. Real quick, he's someone I like him, right? I took him in another league or two, but like I have a little bit of concern because if he struggles at all, now you have guys like Kobe Mayo right behind him. Like I feel like it's not bad to have a little bit of pressure on him, but like I don't know how much of a leash he's going to get, and that's my concern.
Yeah.
You know, what do we expect from him?
I just expect him to be hitting in around that lineup, and I kind of like that whole mix. But yeah, I mean, it's tough with any of these Orioles players because they're so fucking deep with everything.
Right. So they struggle.
Yeah, but if he stays healthy or if he gets lucky and somebody goes down and he gets real playing time, I just like that whole mix of all of those players. You know, this year especially, I'm just all in on all of those guys.
Yeah, I'm torn because like I said, I took him in the other league and I took him because he's on a good team, start lineup, and young, and played multiple positions. I don't know if he does here, and so he does not here, but in Die Yanks he plays third base too. So. I like that, but I've had some hesitation. So I'm asking you not as a challenge necessarily, but as like helping advice.
Yeah. But I mean, if he goes like what 80 runs, 80 RBI, I think that's not out of
Right.
the realm of
Round 20
possibility.
for a young guy.
Or 20, yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. Could be a good keeper.
He's way more valuable if he's middle and corner infield eligible.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. And he will be.
In a daily lineup league where you could change your lineup every day.
Well,
And I think
he'll be that here too.
Yeah. I think that team is going to do that. I think they're all going to get playing time because they have to, because they're all fucking studly, you know.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think all of them are studly. They can't all be studly. Some
Right.
of them are going. Some of them are going to probably suck, get hurt.
Yeah. No, I
5 years from now, there'll probably be like 2, maybe 3 good ones.
Right. I agree. Yeah. It's sussing them out. Who else you got, Matt?
I mentioned Tyler O'Neill in the 17th round. That could pay off pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of his. It's almost like the New Bar kind of player where he's always hurt.
Yeah.
But
crazy talent.
He's
like
what?
crazy athletic ability, but you know.
He hits a lot of home runs and he's got power. That's about
O'Neill?
Yeah. But he looks a physical specimen. Same thing with Newport.
You see him when he ripped his shirt off? He looks like the Incredible Hulk.
I'm not paying attention to his body and his physique as much as you guys. But anyway, he's a good
his dad was like
round.
His dad was like Arnold Schwarzenegger of Canada.
He looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You guys want to continue just talking about his body, or
hold on? I gotta go now.
Jeez. Moving on. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I know we weren't supposed to pick our own players, but I think Giancarlo Stanton in the 15th round is just a good pick.
Could be.
Justin Turner, I kind of went into, but I thought that was a great pick in the 13th round, just because of his last year's production versus what I think he could do this year on a better team. Yeah. Trevor Story, I think we all agree, is going to take a huge step forward. So getting that kind of production in the 10th round is solid. Yeah. And Bieber was my last one for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. So Story was the first one on my list. And I basically looked at it as like trying to find the value, right? So he's picked round 10, right? And what do we expect from him? You know, obviously, I don't think we expect Story of past where he's like a top, you know, he'd be a first round pick. He'd be a keeper if he was Story of past. But but if you take a look at what he could do now is basically someone drafting him as a middle infielder, and you compare him to infielders, right? Talking about round 10, you go up to round 6, and you put these guys in a basket, right? Brian Hayes, Luis Ariz, Jake Berger. You throw those in a basket in a hat, and you pull out names. I'd be fine with Trevor Story being the first one out and giving them to me. You know. I get that there's hype. Like Berger could be a beast, but there's still some risk. Brian Hayes, some hype, still could be a fail. You know, Arise we already talked about. So like basically 4 rounds later, getting a guy that could be 2020 easily. You know, I think that's pretty solid. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, same thing with staying with the same guys, right? In round 6, using these guys to kind of as a reference. You go 4 rounds later, same round as Trevor Story. We go down to the Nolan Gorman pick. And I know that he's kind of like, you know, he was a prospect and blah, blah, blah. And there's some risk in him playing time. But I mean, you look what he did last year, 119 games, 406 at bats, 27 homers, right? Decent OBP at 328, 76 ribbies, 59 runs. That team is pretty solid. St. Louis is one of those teams. I know they haven't been that great, but they're a team I still trust. Right. So you still have Goldschmidt, you still have Arenado, who I expect to bounce back a little bit. You have guys like Mason Wynn. You have guys in that outfield that even though they're not great, they can hit. They're at least exciting, whether it's Newbar being healthy, whether it's Victor Scott coming up, whether it's who else they have out there?
Carlson,
injured. You know, Burleson, right? They have guys that are kind of like, you know, sexy to hit. Contreras is a solid hitter, so they don't really need Gorman to pop. You know, you got Edman, Donovan, and that's kind of also the risk behind Gorman is he doesn't play every single day. But if you add on to him another 100 at bats, and obviously you can't necessarily do this, but you're talking about like a 35 home run second baseman.
Possible, for sure.
Basically a Max Muncy at second base who's younger, you know. So I like that. We talked about this earlier, but and last night I was texting with at least Craig. I think you read this too, Matt. But I was saying it sucks because I wrote this down already, but then last night blew up. But Lourdes Gurriel in the 18th round, when you look at his stats, just from last year particularly, right, where he had not a great OBP, but decent average, 24 homers, 82 ribbies, 65 runs, 144 hits, 35 doubles, like a solid fourth or fifth outfielder. And you're talking about round 18. Whereas if you compare him to guys round 8 or 9, right? So you're doubling the rounds here.
Jorge
right?
Soler.
So just pick these outfielders and tell me why he doesn't compare to them. Chas McCormick, Byron Buxton, Stephen Kwan. Again, I understand the purpose here with Nimmo, Lee. I probably like those guys a little bit better. Ozuna, I don't really like, but I mean, I don't understand why a guy like Gurriel shouldn't be up there. I just feel he's like kind of disrespected.
It's a steal. That's what you call a steal in a draft.
Yeah. And we talked about this guy, so I'm going to start. I'll end with him. But if you look at the middle infielders in 14 and 15, you're talking about guys, I guess you consider Chris Bryant, right? But like Ryan McMahon, and then the infielders in this round, Brandon Drury particularly. And you scroll all the way down to 24, and we see a guy like Tim Anderson. I mean, we already talked about, why, but in his prime seasons, not that I expect him to be that, but he is only 30, and he's only 2021, he 338 OBP, 17 homers, 18 stolen bases, 163 hits, 94 runs. I mean, he led the league in batting average in 2019. And again, now we're going back a little far, but even 2020, 357 OBP. That's a shortened season, obviously, but he's a good player when he's on. And I feel like there's a little chip on his shoulder. He's on a team that's going to give him playing time. He's round 24 compared to the guys that were drafted 10 rounds earlier. And we already touched upon this, but I got to rub it in because Matt's here. But you look at a guy like round 23, the mini Jacob deGrom versus the mini Mackenzie Gore in round 13. So basically comparing Jared Jones to Ricky Tiedemann. I like both of these guys. Tiedemann is probably a better pitcher at the moment. Jones gets the first shot, though, and not a better team, but better ballpark. And so if you're telling me I get the guy who's going to start 10 rounds later and he's got, some electric stuff, I'll take the Jared Jones.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
I would not agree with that. There's a lot of guys that pay a lot of money to scouts and all these guys to evaluate these players. And if Tiedemann is one of those guys, they're looking long-term to be very successful versus Jared Jones, who had a very successful spring training. I'm going to go with Tiedemann. Again, we don't know what Jared Jones is. He could be great this year, or he could be a flash in the pan, and we're not even talking about him at the All-Star break.
100%. I'm not putting my eggs all in Jared Jones' basket. I'm just saying Jacob deGrom versus Mackenzie Gore. But no. Harris, I know you said no particular values that you care to really share, right? I just want to make sure I don't step on your toes.
No, I mean, I think we talked about everyone. The one guy that stood out to me was I love the Willy Adames pick. I know I got this thing for Willy Adames. I think the dude's he kind of screwed me last year. He wasn't that great, but I just feel like this dude is a way better hitter than what he did last year.
If he would just take a couple of walks, dude, he would be great.
I feel like he
just can't get on base.
Yeah, he won't do that though. Yeah.
Next year he might be drafted a lot higher than he was this year.
I think he's just a player who he is, right? He's like Rhys Hoskins in first base. Like he does what he does.
Don't say that. I freaking hate Rhys Hoskins.
Why? Hoskins isn't a bad player. I mean, Hoskins is like he's basically Anthony Rizzo.
I watched him today, and it's like double play, strikeout, pop up. Yep, that's Rhys Hoskins. Yeah. That's Rhys Hoskins.
He does that, but he also will have a decent on base percentage, hit 25, close to 30 home runs. Yeah. Like there's some positives to Hoskins.
I guess I was just hoping that Adames was more of a contact hitter than he really is. And
no, he's not.
And he's not, right?
He's not. No, if you look at his stats from every single year, his on-base percentage is always pretty awful.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, no. Go back.
Couple years.
His rookie year, yeah.
Yeah. But you're looking at thin games, right? 85 games and 54 games. Those games are his highest ones.
Right.
140 games, yeah. But most of the time, since he's like his 3-year average OBP is 313. But yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. He pops homers, 27 homers, 31 doubles, 84
runs an
ribbies.
RBI Nice.
Yeah.
for a middle infielder is great, but to me he is what he is. He's 28. He's not going to change. You know,
Right.
No.
Yeah.
he's going to be a 25 home run, like low OBP, power hitting middle infielder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. 5 years ago, I was hoping he was something a little different.
Yeah, I get it.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's funny though, guys. A couple guys that I was totally out on last year that I was in on this year were all the guys we kind of said, like the Cabron Hayes, the Trevor Stories,
Yeah.
Tim Anderson. I was totally out on the reliever, Carlos Estevez, who I drafted. I got him in every single league, and it's not because I like him. I don't. It's just
Out of
because
necessity.
it was partially necessity. It was partially like he got overlooked. Like first off, he wasn't bad. When you look at his
No, he
actual
wasn't.
numbers,
I had
you
him in a
know,
couple of leagues last year.
yeah. I mean, it's not a great whip, not a great
Nah.
ERA, but like, 62 innings, 78 Ks, 31 saves, like, and the biggest threat behind him is Robert Stevenson. So
Yeah.
if they swap spots, I'm fine with that because it's a saves and holds thing. But Ron Washington already said he's got the starting job.
Mhm.
Closing job. Not that that means it stays, but like, yeah, if I'm gonna take a reliever late, I'm happy to take a guy like that where even the next round, Jose Leclerc goes, and he's even more wild with even a little more risk, better team, but could end. He's a little more volatile, in my
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
But
No, you could do worse than Carlos Estevez as one of your closers.
yeah. But yeah, it's funny how like those things change. Like those are guys I was totally out on. Like, a couple guys I was totally in on last year that I'm out on. I would say Iglesias from the Braves, who I like, and I think he'll get the chances. But I think he's a guy that I just see declining downhill. That
Think?
that the team isn't going to, if he goes downhill, the team's going to replace him quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to let him like just fall apart.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
like
could definitely see them trading for a guy.
Yeah, or just put Minter in there, or
Mm.
Joe Jimenez, who I'm not huge on. But I was all over Iglesias last year. I had him everywhere. I don't have him anywhere this year. Kelnick, I was like, what a great time to buy this guy. And he started off pretty well, and
Mhm.
he just can't hit lefties, and I think he's stubborn. He kind of has that Trevor Bauer thing where he doesn't seem to let people help him until this
Yeah.
year apparently. But now the news is he's going to be in a timeshare. That kind of sucks, so.
Mhm.
And Edmund and Donovan both on St. Louis, like guys I like the versatility. They're obviously just like contact speed guys, but I
Yeah.
just found that there's just it's too frustrating to play them and just get like maybe a run on a stolen base.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they offer nothing else really.
You,
But
you guys
I have
called it. AJ Puck's getting lit up right now.
not surprising. Yeah.
there you go. That makes his whole season.
I had a couple guys that I was out on and last year, and now that I'm in on, and I think you guys were definitely more into them, like the Suzuki and the Yoshida, like those
Yeah.
two guys last year. Where I was kind of more hesitant. Now I'm like all in on Suzuki. Wish I would have got him in every league. I didn't get him in any.
Yeah, you're just
But
racist. You don't like
could be a little bit of that.
He might have a good season this year, man.
I think
Really
Suzuki's
good.
gonna have a really, really
Yeah,
good season. I
100%.
think Yoshida is too. Yeah, it's just like them getting adapted to like the league and like their on base percentage. You look at all your on base percentages overseas, and they're ridiculous. They're like over 400. So when they come here, there's going to be some adjustment. That's kind of why I hesitated. But now I think these guys are like seasoned pros. So I'm all in on Suzuki, Yoshida, and Jung Ho Lee too. I think he's just from what I've seen in spring training, he looks really solid.
Yeah.
Guys that I'm out on, big shocker, Hunter Green. Got him in,
Finally.
Yeah,
really?
got him in 0 leagues now.
Wow.
Yeah, just one of the guys you just hope that he would put it together. So much
Wait,
talent.
what do you
so
mean?
much...
He still might.
Yeah. I mean, he's still super young. He's another guy like he feels like he's been in the league for 10 years.
Yeah.
But
He's
you
probably
drafted
like 23 or
Lodolo.
something like that. I don't
He's
even
like
know.
the stripper you kept bringing home the mom.
Yeah, you hope she changes, but no, she's dirty. But Hunter just even now this spring training, like even the coaches are saying like his walks are too wild. He's too wild.
Yeah. He's a thrower. He needs to become a pitcher.
Yeah. Hopefully he figures it out. But Another guy I'm out on is Nestor Cortez. Basically, all the Yankees.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Nestor, this project of him being a starter has to stop. He's a better long reliever or something like that.
I would probably definitely agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I think a lot of the starters, even Clark Schmidt, is probably more of a long reliever type of guy.
I agree.
Yeah,
that's why they just signed JT Brubaker today, because they know.
That, they got another guy.
Yeah.
They traded the farm system for Soto. I get it. Michael King would have been a probably their number 2 or probably close to number 1 right now. Or Rodon is officially the number 1, but I'm not big on him.
Well,
either.
Cole, but you can't. It's not their fault that he got hurt. That's kind of the bummer, right? It's like, not that I root for the Yankees, obviously. I named my baseball league the opposite of that, but
the opposite.
But I do feel that they kind of get a bad rap. Like, this is where, like, the heat that comes on Brian Cashman could be pulled back a little bit. Is like last year they put the money out and signed Rodon. They didn't expect him to get hurt. They had Nestor Cortez. They didn't expect him to get hurt. I don't remember all their staff last year, but like it didn't pan out the way. Now coming this year, you have the guys. You have a decent lineup kind of set up. Not great, but you have guys that are there. Now you lose your ace. You lose the best pitcher in baseball. You have to rely on Rodon staying healthy. Cortez, same thing. But they're, Schmidt taking a step forward.
They're lucky they got Stroman,
Right. Stroman, yeah. Right. You can at least eat innings.
Yeah. But a lot of those guys, especially like Nestor and Clark, I'm kind of out on. And another guy is Andrew Vaughn, another guy that came in with a lot of promise, but I just don't think he's going to pan out.
I agree. Yeah, it's a shame too, because that White Sox team in general, I feel so bad for White Sox fans, because you had such high hope. Go back 3 years, 4 years. You got Luis Robert. You got Eloy Jimenez. You have
Moncada.
Andrew Vaughn, Moncada, Tim Anderson, and Michael Kopech. I'm sure there's other – Dylan Cease, right? You have all these guys. I'm sure there's guys that were missing in there that were even just role players. And now you roll up. They had Jake Berger. Not that he was a great, thing, but I'm just saying, like, these are players that now people are excited about elsewhere. And what do they have left? They have Robert left and Vaughn. But in the reality, like, Vaughn kind of took like the Nick Senzel approach. He just happened to stay healthy, but isn't really doing that much. But he's a good hitter. Like, he has a good bat. He just can't seem to do much with it. But
I think him and Torkelson were like the two guys that were like the big names a couple of years ago, and I think Torkelson's definitely his trajectory is a lot better than Andrew Vaughn.
Tork looks good. Yeah,
that's why I'm out on him.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Anything, Harris, that you have that you want to share?
No, I think overall it was a great draft. When I looked at everybody's team, everybody's team has some really good players.
I agree. When I was doing the best value picks, I was like writing down the team names next to it, and I was like, Brackwater Browns,
Really?
Brackwater Browns. Yeah, some good players.
Yeah.
How about Jersey Jobbers, which I don't even know who that is, but he's got Rafael Devers, Corbin Carroll, Julio Rodriguez, Fernando Tatis, Evan Carter, Grayson Rodriguez.
Well, you're right. Going to the team build, yeah. Well, I think Steve, his best attribute, he's good at recognizing young talent. As soon as he came in the league, he grabbed guys right away.
Yeah, really good players.
Yeah, I knew. It took me about 4 or 5 picks in the first draft that Steve was in to realize that he's going to snipe those young guys. When I thought I could sneak Tatis because he hasn't yet played an MLB game. I thought I could let him go and sneak him in the 2nd or 3rd round. And Jobbers took him in the 1st, I think 5th overall. I was like, no fucking way. Who the fuck does that? But
in my opinion, Master of Disguise is the odds-on favorite to win the whole thing. Not only because he had 12 first-round picks, but because his keepers were pretty sick. He had some really good keepers, even though poor Royce Lewis got hurt yesterday.
Well, shocker. Yeah.
I know.
That was right. And to be fair, and to also add criticism to that, is that he's had a good team, right? Gerace has been a contender or should be contender every single year, right? He's coming in with guys like Soto and Vlad and
Jose Ramirez.
And he traded him. Right? No, he still got him. Yeah. And solid picks. He finally got rid of Altuve, but he's had a solid base ever since he came into the league, really. And he's building. He's good. He's good at building. Drace is a good baseball mind, right? Every league, he's going to make smart choices. I think he snipes me. I know almost every single pick, and he's good. But yeah, I think his team's really solid. I mean, look, so much of it comes down to obviously the draft, management, and injuries. You know? Yeah. But yeah, Strider's huge.
That's why we should do another one of these and maybe ask a couple other owners to jump in.
Yeah, I agree.
A month or two into the season.
Yep.
See where we're really at.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Yeah, I think that's good. I think I have some more notes, but I think for the sake of time and listening and sharing all that stuff, I think we covered pretty much everything. But yeah, man, I think we should put that out there. See if anyone wants to hop on, talk about their team build, anything else, go from there. But there's some good teams, man. There's really, I think there's 8 teams that could easily compete for this, for the championship.
Yeah, for sure.
I caught myself coming into as I'm looking like at my team. I'm like, all right, like, well, I finished top few the last couple of years or whatever it's been. And so I should be up there again. But then I'm like, well, actually looking at my team compared to everyone else, like it's there, but there's other teams that could be easily like I don't get gifted like top 5 just because I've been there, if that makes sense. I could be the 10th team in the league. It's just the way it rolls.
Yeah, and just the the 10 keeper rule too is so different than any other league. Like, your players can get old really quick. You might want to take a risk, go younger. I know, like, I'm sure we all have this issue of like deciding which keepers to go with, and like parting with Arenado was like a huge deal. I'm like, shit, man. But at the same time, it's like, all right, well, I finished like 4th last year. Gerace snuck up at the end, and I think you, me, Jeff, Gerace, and me were like a point away from each other.
Yeah.
For like 2nd place or something like that. But it comes time where you just have to, take a risk and like part ways with some guys and just get younger.
No, I agree, and I think that was the right time to do it. Like you and Gerace had that conversation, like that. That decision between like Altuve, Arenado, guys like that. Where it's at a point to do that. It's funny. I didn't know JP had both those guys. Altuve, Arenado, and he's got some guys. He's got like Mike Trout eventually coming
sick lineup.
I mean, he always builds great offense. So I think he knows it. Like he doesn't like to keep pitchers. I'm probably going to say everything that you would tell me is that like he doesn't really prefer to keep pitchers, so he'll keep the pitchers if he has to because it's hard to let guys go like Luis Castillo. But he'd rather not keep any pitchers and build that offense. But I feel like his kind of thorn in his side is sometimes his pitching, But and of course injuries for everyone. But anyway, all right. Well, good shit, boys. Anything that we missed? Anything you want to add?
I thought it was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hit end record. Hang on for a second. We'll chat a little bit. Give me one second.
Baseball season.
Mm-hmm.